welcome back to Timberborn and our Update 7 Let's Play. I am in a hotel at the moment, so the sound might be a little bit off because hotel rooms are notoriously echoey. We have a few things to sort out from last time, the first of which, setting this guy to a prioritize. This indeed does need automating. Picking up some of the comments from last time. That's that one done. These, I think I might as well leave those paused because we are full on logs anyway, pretty much. So I'm going to leave those as they are. I'm going to keep an eye on this to see if we need to bother putting a water dump in there or not. I'm not sure if we need to. I've got this crazy idea, somewhat crazy idea, and I don't know if it's going to work or not, and I'm possibly not going to work on it today, but in the same vein that we have because we've got lots of other projects, the sewage pipe here, I'm kind of thinking that because it took a really long time to fill this, I say fill, I might divert some of these water sources that are outside in. Particularly now we've got the tunnels. It should be relatively easy to do that. But that is not going to be the priority for today. Last time we started putting in the tunnel to get the bad water out of here, which they're going to keep working on, obviously, because that's kind of how it works. To some extent, apart from the fact that probably they can't get to a lot of this until we give them more access. And I'm just wondering, how deep is down does this go? Probably, actually, okay. I'm going to just pause it, and I've literally just unpaused it, but we don't really need these, and we don't really have any risk of collapse. He says famous last words. So that's 3. That's 4. We down to ground level there. Now I can use the layer tool. I struggle to use the layer tool, okay, particularly when it does things like that and just randomly resets. I know that's one of the new features. So we're about 4 layers down. Now I don't play with the ladders mod on this save because we're still in experimental and mods get updated out of sync with game updates and all that kind of thing. So I'm thinking that what we do is we come here and we put in the facilities to build a staircase down. It's not going to be the prettiest, but it will do the job. Ideally, we'd have a zip line over here, but we just need to get this built, so it's not a big deal. And it'll be a thing. It'll be a thing. What I want to do, and currently they can't get over here, but I want to think about designing the outflow pipe for this, and probably that means we're just going to delete this for now. And well, I am going to delete all of this stuff. Because what I want to do is enable the filtration of the bad water that's in here as well. So what we will want is to first jump into dev mode and just check. That's a strength 3 water source. Probably a single sluice is enough. I'm sure one of you will happily tell me that it's enough. I'm going to put 2 there. And what we're going to do is have those close above contamination. And then going to have that, not like that. Terrain dragging. It's a horrible thing. Oh, that's going to go funky, isn't it? Because that's technically buildable. So probably we want to make sure that those are super high prioritized. I don't know if they've changed that lovely feature or not. So that will run out that way. I actually need like a vertical sluice gate. But because this pipe has such a huge amount of capacity, what we can do instead is there's a couple of ways we can. There are many ways one can. I'm not going to say it. Skin a cat. I said it. But what we're going to do is eventually that. Yeah, we'll eventually do that. But we need to wait for the bad tide to end before we can even contemplate bringing them down here. So instead, we will focus on this. And this should allow... We actually need to move that back one, don't we? So we can actually put the stairs in and still have a path, yeah. If you were typing away, well done. Good job. So, yeah, because we will need a bit more space to get that in. So there's many things I want to try and achieve on here still. This is just one of those. Just one of many. I said this is being recorded the afternoon, or it's actually the evening of the previous episode going live. I'm actually in a pretty good flow at the moment of getting videos made. So it means I don't always get to see everyone's comments unless you're super on the ball for watching. But it is meaning that I am much more organized for getting my videos made, which is nice. It's nice. It's much better than the where I have been recently, which was kind of scrambling to get anything done, which is no fun. Which is no fun when you are a maker of video type things. So we'll let them work on that, and probably it is worth us then thinking about tunneling in both directions. We go both ways. Who misses? Not like that. And by that I mean not like that. And we want to head towards the water source. And handily, with the way they've updated the game, we can see where the water source is, because they've made it now so you can't accidentally tunnel under water sources. And by accidentally, I mean intentionally, because they don't want you to be able to intentionally or otherwise destroy them. So, yeah. That will get us a long way towards that water source, and we have plenty of headroom, I think. We'll see as we go. I guess if we need to, we can always throw in the odd impermeable floor. Because we do kind of need to wait a little bit to get this area sorted, to sort out filtering the water here. Basically what I want to be able to do is have clean water come out under the waste pipe, and then any bad water coming out of here come up into the waste pipe. And then essentially the waste pipe is going to be, it doesn't even need to be a pipe, it can be an aqueduct that just runs the bad water off the map. And here we go. Bad tide ends. Let's have a look at how this all behaves as it cleans itself up and things are purified. And we'll probably get a little bit of switching backwards and forwards as different things do different things. And they fill up and mix and all that kind of stuff. And that'll be fine if we get a little bit of bad water come into the main pond. That'll be fine. This is all doing its thing, and you know, we've got the sluices here which are going to protect us if any contamination comes in, as we will see any second if it makes it high enough. So should all be good. So a little bit of contamination coming in here I am not worried about. It's all going to be fine. It's all part of the process, as they say. And we're looking at what's this? Is only 3% contaminated through here. That is absolutely okay. And then we want to look at reconnecting. Should we reconnect with ourselves, folks? We should reconnect with ourselves. And let's slow down. Let's reconnect. Can't see me doing the cheesy hand things, can you? No, you can't. Let's pause. This is going to upset some beavers. I'm sorry, beavers. There. And then we need to remove you and add connection to there. And actually, what I want to do is demolish that and delete this path, so we remove the problem we had before where they were going in, assuming we get another bad tide, where they were going into the bad place. I kind of wish that I had left in that zipline station now, because it would let us get some of this done a tad quicker. I mean, if we're going to do it as an open sandwich, been a day. It's been a day. We could, in fact, put that back, at least to get quite a lot of it built. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's get this running. That's prioritized. Those are prioritized. Let's prioritize that as well. You will respect my prioritize. It really has been a day, folks. I haven't lost my mind. I promise. I'm away in a hotel. It has been a very long day. Been a very stressful day. And tomorrow's going to be a very stressful day as well. So, yeah. Just kind of showing, I think, through my very quickly going to detonate those. We'll still be able to get round to build that while they work. Then we can put in the 2 sluice gates there. I'm also going to prioritize building those. They will be a close below. Let's go. Yes. Someone pointed out to me, we have the clicky buttons, which I've been ignoring because I didn't see them. Thank you. Big boy, was it? Yes, thank you. So we can use the clicky buttons to get the percentage where we want them. So we will, in fact, have these at 1%. So that's going to be okay. That will let that water flow up into our sluice area. We then want to seal this. I am going to seal this with platforms and impermeable floors because I don't want to use... I don't want to take up any more of the space that's available in there. So like that. And like that. And we can then run the path through there, which should help with that. Those are prioritized, so they should now be able to zip line out to here, I think. Assuming that's all still connected. Yep. So yeah, we've got beaver zip lining out here now, which is awesome. So the plan then is to we want to kind of even this up a little bit. We could do that with some overhanging terrain because we can overhang it to a nice amount. It's not by nice, it's not excessive, the amount we need to overhang the terrain. What we're going to do is come over here. I'm going to take advice that was given on the Ember Pelts series, but we can apply it here. Let's deprioritize this, so I don't have to keep prioritizing the job that I want them to do. See, I do listen to you. I do listen to people's comments. I just don't always apply them where the advice is given. But that should let us focus on getting this done. And then, I mean, we could make this out of dirt. Except we've only got the one excavator. And I think making it out of dirt might be a bit weird. We are going to come up there, because that's then sealed on all sides. We don't know if we'll be able to build into there easily. 44 well-being, very nice. So the other suggestion that we had, and we might not get that done this time, because that's where this has kicked in, is to put some dams and sluice gates around this, which we will probably get to. We will probably get to that at some point. Oh, we forgot to open this jobby. So that needed to be done. That's on 0.85. That's on 0.8. We set them both to 0.8. That will do its thing. That one's done its thing. Yeah. Right. How do I want to build this out? We have metal now. So like the gamer in me thinks we gamer it. The engineer in me wants to do it properly. So and the engineer is going to win today. He doesn't always win. And I say properly within the bounds of TIMBERBORN physics, which there isn't really, but so what we're going to do is, well, that could be a single. We're going to build it somewhat properly. So is that the correct width? If we were to go to there, we probably want them both to be one longer. And I know I don't need to put that right into the corner, but I want to. And I also know that I could have these supported on other overhangs. This is how I want to build this one. I've done all sorts of different options for these things. And what we might do is have them on platforms out to here. And then we could have dirt on top. I kind of like that idea. So we're mixing our materials. Oh, I've gone too far, I think. Yep, you went too... You had to go too far, didn't you? You had to go too far. It's a common problem for me. Common problem. So I kind of like that option for the construction. It's borrowing a little bit from JC's approach with using dirt for bad water. But I think it's a good approach for this, I think. So then what we will do is we'll keep going until we're off of this raised area, I think. So we'll go 2 and 2 and 1 and 1. So we're going to mix our construction up a little bit. Because, hey, aren't we all a little bit mixed up inside? Now, we might not get this done if we get a bad tide. This is quite a big jobby. But so we're going to do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to one of those. So we are truly mixing up our construction. And you'll have to trust me with the logic for this. I'm then going to come here and here and repeat this now, because if we rotate it 180 degrees, then they're not going to be able to build the 1x1 platform, which will be a bit of a pain. So let's get the game running, because they can work on this now. That's not a problem. So that can go there, that can go there, and we can just keep repeating this all the way along. And I think I'll do these, and then I'll do the dirt. The idea is that we run this. Remember, this is now taking 24 CMS of bad water off the map by grabbing no, more than that, 25, because we're getting the 21 CMS from the main waterfall, that extra random little block, then the 3 CMS from the one that's sitting under the outflow, that we're filtering. So, yeah. And that you might be sitting there thinking this is completely unnecessary, over engineering, and do you know what? Even if it is, doesn't matter, because this is a video game, and you can do things in video games just because it's cool and fun. And yeah, and why not? Hey, why not? The other thing that we could do with this, because this is going to have a heck of a lot of water going down it, is once it's built, we could put some of these in it. We could even put some of these small turbines from the water extension pack in it. What we probably should do is put a pile in for the dirt, and maybe some others for things like metal beams and planks. And I think we'll be using logs as well. Is that right? The overhangs, yep, they use logs. So let's get that sorted. Logs, obtain. So let's prioritize building these. There we go. And obtain, prioritize by haulers, obtain, prioritize by haulers, obtain, prioritize by haulers, obtain, prioritize by haulers. And that's that sorted. So that little jobby's going to keep those guys amused for a bit. We've got 12 spare beavers. How did we end up for hauling posts? So we've still only got the 2. So I think another one would be a grand idea. Actually, there's a few things I think we should do. One, we should check our power grid. Oh, we have a bad tide coming in 3 days. That is not good. That is not good at all. Let's put in that extra hauling post. Let's get that built. Yep. Why aren't you working? Because our storage, no. Must be cattail flower. There is cat. There we go. Okay. Why aren't you working? Is it another classic example of just needing a bit of a kick? It is wheat flour, so yeah, you just needed a kick. So basically we're going to need to babysit this for a bit. Clearly they're not going to finish it in 3 days. So what we'll do is we'll let them build as much of this as they can in the time that we've got. And what we can do is that get built. Did I not increase the numbers? I did not. There we go. We're going to low prioritize that. So one of the things that we can do to help ourselves out, which we will do during this bad tide, we're going to run at 30 times speed, just to get this done in a bit of a kind of a time lapse, but not really a time lapse. We can build an observatory or two to free up some beavers because we've got lots of inventors, and we don't really need lots of inventors when we can build an observatory. And then during the bad tide, we will focus on the other job we were working on, because we can probably get a bunch of that done during the bad tide. So that seems like a sensible idea to me. We will now go down. We will now go down to normal time speed. I'm going to disconnect that. As these guys get out of here, I'm going to just pause the game for a second. We will disconnect all of that. This is a bit of a faff, I know, but it's safe. And safe is good. The beavers will find their way back home. Not worried about that. But what we need to do is try and avoid the problem we had before of lots of beavers getting ill. So this has done its thing. This is pretty full. Yep. This is all okay from like a contamination point of view. We have got a lot of injured beavers, which is not so great. But what I wanted to do is come over here, close that, and hopefully this is all disconnected. So this should all be too far for beavers to reach. But they should finish doing the jobs they were doing with plenty of time to get home before the bad tide comes in. So that's that sorted, in theory. And what we can do is now we could come in and sort out protecting this guy. That's a relatively simple task, I think, he says. Famous last words. Let's just go again and check this behaves as we expect. As last time, we get a little bit of bad water coming over the falls as the dynamics need to change a little bit, but that sorts itself out. Down here, this is working, which is great. It's a really slow process trying to clean this map up. It's a map which has a lot of water sources, and clearly we've got a lot more building to do to actually achieve that, but we'll get there. Have faith, folks, have faith. Yeah, so what we wanted to do is come in here and build around this. And there's a couple of options. So we need to come out a little bit somewhere. Let's move this line out a little bit. So we'll come out. If I want to put a sluice in, I need to be out here. If I were to put a dam there, can I put a fluid dump on it there? I cannot. So if I wanted to put a fluid dump on, we would need to go even wider. Probably out here. Or could I put the fluid dump in the corner there? No. So water, fluid dump there, sluice gate there, dams out there, and then we can come in there. And I mean, that would kind of limit the amount that I would need to build terrain in here as well. And I could actually come in and delete all of that. And you would need to go, because you would need to have ladder there, and then that need to be connected like that. But that would allow us to keep that running continuously. Flower there. That's okay. That's okay. So that's that. So we'll let them get that built, which hopefully won't take too long. The other thing we were thinking about was an observatory, which requires power. I'm just trying to think of a nice place to build an observatory. Would kind of be cool to hang it off the side out here. I think, but I don't know. It's only one. It always looks so soupy, but it's really not. They're all open here. I mean, it'll clear itself out. It's not a problem. Yeah, I mean, the alternative is... What's the alternative? We could build it over the reservoir. I kind of feel like hanging it off the rocks would be cool, but I'm struggling to think about how I would get power to it. We could temporarily delete the paper mill and come... That's going to leak if I do that, unless I block that up. And that's going to be a problem if I... No, it's not going to be a problem if I do that. All right. Let's come in here. Let's put terrain in there. Then dynamite in both of those. Just in case the power only comes out of them. Sometimes some of the buildings are funny with where you can take power out of. So I'm going to do that just in case. Come down to here. What I'm thinking is actually we should just check that the zip line's not going to be in the way. 3. This is relatively dumb, maybe. And in fact, I can't build the last one. Well, I could, because I could. Is that dumb? If it's stupid, but it works. It doesn't work because there's a zip line in the way. Oh, that's a little bit frustrating, isn't it? We could probably come in there and do the same thing, essentially. Yeah. Delete that. Delete those. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Put all of that back. That was worthwhile, wasn't it? Delete that. Let's keep the game running at least single time speed so things progress. Paper mill, you can go back there. All right. So if one was to think about doing it in that corner, I could pull power out of there. We could temporarily make that the wheat mill. We could delete that. And if I came out, I think that's going to be the same problem, isn't it? No. I could make it lower, but it feels wrong having a having an observatory which is low. That's not janky, is it? Nope, nope, that's not janky at all. Yeah, that's the same problem, I believe. Is that the same problem? Yeah, I think it is. I think the zip line's in the way. Okay. For my next trick, have they finished that? Oh, you dummies. Alright, let's just save them and finish building that, I guess. That doesn't need to be active at the moment. That's one way, so that's okay. For my next trick, let's just check on progress on this. Not awesome at that. That's all the way. So let's put the path that way. And because of the size of this, it shouldn't have, famous last words, any issues deleting the planks, he says, somewhat unconfidently. Well, that's weird. There we go. So we'll let them continue working on that while I work out how the heck I'm going to put in an observatory. And what I'm thinking actually is something a little bit eccentric. Eccentric is the word. Eccentric is a good word. So we're going to go like that. We're going to go like that. Bear with me, folks. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing here. But not the first time, is it? No, it's not. It won't be the last time either. Don't worry. And then what we'll do is not quite gonna work, I don't think. I need... This is janky as all jankiness. But... that's that. Then all we need is to stick power in it. And how hard can that be, hey? That is as simple as that, deleting that and swapping it for one of those. That's going to be a high priority build. That like that. Where, there, and there. And is that not a thing of absolute scientific beauty? I agree. Yes, yes it is. So, let's think. The observatory generates 10 every... So we can get rid of more than 10 inventors. How many inventors do we have? It's a very good question. Well asked. 9. So once that's built, we can get rid of all of our inventors. Awesome. That will be a very good thing. Wish we'd got that finished. Wish we'd got that finished. Oh well. I mean, it's going to work once it's built because it's handling things just fine. Just not built yet. So that's going in. Maybe it would be sensible. Just pause that so they can build the power bits first. They can probably build most of it from above, to be fair, but, you know. It'll give them as much opportunity as possible. I kind of like the idea as well of throwing in another gravity battery. I think all of that should be reachable, so I do like that idea. Right, they've got themselves free. That's sorted. Let's just recover these. There we go. Well, make them easier to recover. Stuff. Do we have... We are very close to having maple syrup on there, so... let's get the old tapper's shack in, and we'll come over here. I think we'll put it here actually, and we will put in a medium tank for maple syrup. Good job. Or job's good, whichever way you want to go. However you like to express happiness with a job well done. Right, that's the power connection done, so they can now build that. We've got the resources for that, so that's good. Yeah, happy with that. So how are they doing with our great escape tunnel? Slow progress, I guess, because they are working on other stuff. And we will need, ideally, I think, a drought to get the rest of that done, to work out how we're going to filter the water again. Yeah. No, but if we get this finished, I'll maybe then run it on ×4 again to rise that. Ah, they've not built. There we go. Right, let's go in and goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Now you might say, why am I getting rid of them? Why don't I just leave them as low priority? But we might as well free up the space. And in the interests of freeing up space, actually, we will now, because that's all up on that higher level, get rid of all of that. Get all of those lovely resources back. We've cleared that out. Excellent. So let's get rid of those. And those. Tidy that up. Get rid of that path. And I think we'll work on moving some of this housing now. So, let's do... Oh, we need to go to triple platforms now. 3, 1, 2, 3. And then a bunch of doubles. Like that. And hopefully... Yeah, I think they've got all of the acts. If we make sure that path stays connected, they should have all of the access they need to build those. And housing, so that's going to add 18 more houses. Decoration, roofs. So preemptively, I'm going to just delete 6 and make... I'm homeless, I know. Pretty ruthless, huh? But it saves the population spike that would come with that. So that's going now, which is good. They're going in, and hopefully now we can focus on this guy for the next 16 days or so. So I think 4 flooded buildings. Oh, that's those. Yeah, that's fine. We will run this a little bit quicker, and I'm hoping we're going to start seeing the beavers. There we go. Coming down here and removing this. Path with a bit of pace, and then we'll again try and recover all of the planks. And honestly, once they've got as far as this is at the moment, I don't really want to do any more because I'm a little bit nervous about how we're going to do the mix unless we're in a drought. If we're in a drought, it should be absolutely fine. But I don't want to start it in a temperate season and then get hit by a bad tide and be really screwed because we've got no way of sealing it. But yeah, this is so much better than the alternative, which would have been basically cutting this channel through everything above it and then rebuilding it, which is what I was going to do because I did want to do this. I just wouldn't have been able to do it because I had no option of well, I would have done it, but it would have been messy and painful and slow and horrible. And all of the other things that go with those adjectives. So there we go. We are almost to the end of that. We've got 12 days left of the bad tide. We're quite low on wheat flour, which is interesting. So we'll go have a look at that in a bit. It might just be where I've changed over that mill. So that's done. Right. So what we can do now is come in here. And if I can select them. There we go. Get back. Nearly 200 planks. Which is very nice. And I managed to not screw up. So we've not really caused ourselves any massive problems with that, which is good. So yeah, let's prioritize that by haulers. And otherwise our food is all looking pretty good. Have we now got... Yeah, we've now got maple syrup. But we haven't got a lot of flour. But we've got wheat. So if I put back this other grist mill and have this one doing wheat flour as well. Because it doesn't look like we've got a power problem because those are not, you know, dropped to the floor. I'm thinking we get some storage. We get some maple syrup over here as well. And that feels like a wasted opportunity for something that runs on power. And maybe we can fit a bakery hanging out here where we couldn't fit the observatory. That's a grill, bakery. We can. Maple pastries. And what we could do is we could put that there. And we can have a little bit more local storage of whatever we need. I guess you could be those maple pastries set to supply. You will be more maple syrup set to obtain. And you are already set to be maple pastries. Why are you not cooking? You're full, okay. Good stuff. So let's have a look in well-being. So we're back to do maple pastries. Rooftop, so more contemplation spots would be good. Rooftop terraces, yeah, but they don't really pay a lot. Say pay a lot. That's the wrong term. Lidos. I don't have any Lidos. I don't think they'd work at that depth. Because one of my thoughts originally, and they might work once it fills up. And that's the same depth as that, isn't it? So one of my thoughts was that we have Lidos are 3, aren't they? I think. Or Lidos. Lido. And Lidos are 4. These might only work part of the year, but you know, Lidos are only open part of the year a lot of the time in the world. So we'll have to give that a look and a see and see if that's going to be functional. But yeah, more contemplation spots. We've freed up some land, so that's a pretty easy win. We can just do that. It's not deep enough at the moment, but we're quite deep into the bad tide, so I'm not too worried about that, to be honest. In the interests of not being boring and uniform, and potentially triggering some people, maybe, that's not actually why I'm doing it. It's more so that we can try and create more space. And have this look interesting as well. We're going to come this way with the next bit of housing. Decoration. Do we vary the roof as well? No, we can't be that crazy. We can't be that crazy. So that's another 3 little houses to go. And actually that would allow us to throw in, at least temporarily, a few rooftop terrae. And so I'm going to have to think about this. So what we would do is really just kind of box in a filter, wouldn't we? Let's just have a little think before we wrap up today's video. So we'd have something like I'm not certain, and I'm basing this on what I've watched JC do recently. Good water, go that way. Bad water, go that. How strong a source is this actually? Go back into dev mode. So it's a strength 4 source, so it's a pretty beefy one. So we do that. And then put terrain blocks around it. So at the moment, I'm just going to let the bad water come out still. But we then go there, 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 and there. There, and there. And then we'd come down one would probably be enough. I'm going to let them come do those. We do that as a high priority. I'm going to... Do we think they would run over that block and get contaminated? I don't know. That is just going to be on an open, and that's just going to be on an open. Just in case anything funky happens. But I kind of like this idea, particularly as it's quite a strong water source. So blow those out, and then go down to there, and then go into tunneling mode. No, not there. Delete, delete. There. Guess it would be easier if I did that. There. Let's just prioritize those. Probably don't need that on anymore. So you are going to close above 1% contamination. Thank you to the person that pointed those out, because I had completely missed those. Awesome sauce. You are going to close below 1% contamination. I'm just going to leave that one actually on open until the bad tide's over. Go, go, go. Bring my explosives over, beavers. Here we go. So we detonate that. Then we come in here. And we go back to tunneling mode. And we tunnel to there. And just for neatness, I'm going to put that on there. And obviously, having bad water in it kind of sucks, but I guess we need to get them into this. So, where there, that is the nearest line station, isn't it? So let's do not that. Let's do that. We will need to seal this. So that it pressurizes, so that the clean water gets shot back out of the hole. There we go. And I guess what I want to do, because there is a little bit of bad water in there, is not let them place the last two until that's either dried out or Yeah. Oh, pause. No, pause the game. How deep are they placing that? Like on too many layers? Yeah. Delete. I've only done one of those. That's okay. That's not going to cause a problem. They can work around that. Let's just check. I've not done that. Nope. Just the one. Cool. Right. Let's just get this finished up somewhat quickly, I think. Because we've only got 5 days left of this bad tide, and that'll be a nice end to the video, I think. Running it on 30 times looks a little bit janky, unfortunately, but it is a nice way to get it done quickly without me having to do any clever editing, and I don't feel like doing clever editing today. So yeah, that's what you get. That is what you get. And we are almost there. As I said, I don't want to risk opening it up actually until this has dried out, because and then unless they can place those from the outside, from above, from the top, I don't want them going in the bad water, obviously. We had enough of that with our other experiments with such things, so we can recover our planks again, which I like. Feels slightly wrong that you can do that, but you know, if the game allows it, I'm gonna do it, because resources are important, although we're kind of full on those. So right, what I'm going to do now is test that theory. So let's delete that path, which should make that too far away. And then if we come down here and I try and tunnel those out, they're too far. Okay. Yeah, so they can't do them from there. So basically that's going to have to wait for the bad tide to end, but that's pretty much done, which is very cool. We could go in actually and put back that excess piece of dirt that I took out. But I quite like that, because that's going to... There's plenty of water around the outside anyway, and that's just going to help with filling up the inside. And I think that's much more important. So next time we will attempt to continue building this. We are dependent on the seasons, obviously. We can get some water in there. We'll work on expanding the accommodation still. We've got 9 unemployed beavers. It probably calls for... I like the idea of another hauling post, personally. Hauling posts are good. That's probably because a lot of stuff is paused. I really, really want to get that finished. But really, really need to wait unless that has dried out yet. Nope. Still bad water in there. So, yeah. Anyway, I think we're going to call it a day for now, folks. We will finish that up next time. So, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hoping this has sounded okay. So, in a hotel room. So, and I've been recording straight for an hour and a quarter. So, yeah. Going to be very annoyed if the sound is not good. But, yeah. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel as always. Oh, is that? I think that has dried out. Let's finish up, shall we? Let's finish this up. Get this done. Get this done before we finish. Because then we are ready for... Yeah, that looks dry to me. Then we are ready for the bad... Not for the good. Not the bad, the good. It appears dry, so... Let's go, beavers. Let's get rid of those last couple of pieces. And that's going to significantly improve the hydration, the filling. No, oh yeah, okay. They were okay, excellent. That's done. That's all sorted. What I want to do, I know there's logs under there and we're probably stopping ourselves getting to them, but for cool visual effect to finish this off, delete the path that's under there. I'm going to attempt to delete the path that's under there. There we go. Yes, thank you. Because I want the water to bubble up through a grate. I think that will achieve the effect that I want. So we'll get that done as well. And we're about to finish this bad tide, so we'll get to see this in action. I'm hoping that because I haven't got the top of this sealed in, things will be okay. Famous last words, we might have to do some last minute changes to everything, because water can come out of the top of a water source, can't it, folks? So let's switch that to auto. Yeah, it's fine, it's all fine. Open. Unintended consequences. So we have some work to do. We have a little bit of work to do. That should be easy enough to resolve. With a little bit of work. Let's rip you out. And you. As a priority, we need to move these. Contamination barriers go there. Let's just think about how I can do that now. Yep. There. Let's put that one there. go. This will be not too much of a problem. You can go. We lost a few maple trees, but nothing too severe. It's a long old video today, folks, I'm afraid, but so this is working. This is spewing water in. What we need to be doing as well is you need to be disconnected. And then, gosh. Oh, I can't connect you now. Why can't I connect you now? Ah, because we go there first, don't we? There, there, there. That's reconnected those. But we need to make sure that these are done as a priority. And I'm actually wondering if that will be enough to seal this up. There we go. Job's good. So for neatness, because I think that's a little bit, we're just going to do that as well. I'm going to make that a medium priority, but obviously that's going to bring a lot more water into the reservoir area, which is awesome. Reopen you. Hoping for a really nice drought next, actually. So we can. Here we go. Cool. So we can finish off this, which hopefully they are now working on again. They are. Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying some time ago, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members, and I will see you guys next time.